Do you suffer with vaginal yeast infection symptoms? 3/4 of all women will experience this infection at one time or another in their life. Yeast vaginitis, or yeast infection, is an infection of the vagina caused by a fungus known as Candida. It can make a woman's life very miserable, to say the least. There are several factors that increase a woman's chances of getting one. Some of these are having diabetes, being pregnant, taking oral contraceptives, having to receive chemotherapy, or taking antibiotics for some other infection like a sinus or urinary tract infection. Symptoms range in severity, but are usually the same in most every woman, and can be very irritating, to say the least. It can be very uncomfortable and embarrassing to be out in public place and have an itch that you can just do nothing about. I'm sure you've experienced this and know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's a list of vaginal yeast infection symptoms: itching, burning, soreness, pain with urination and intercourse, a vaginal discharge, it's usually white, and swelling. The symptoms will vary in severity depending on how far along the infection is. Diagnosis is done by a medical professional by taking a scraping from the vagina and looking at it under a microscope. Once a vaginal yeast infection is confirmed, you will be prescribed an antibiotic to treat it, and also some meds to help with the swelling and irritation. Most women don't realize, however, they can naturally get rid of these infections and keep them from coming back. One way that is very successful involves using just a special kind of oil that, when applied to the vaginal area, will actually kill off the bacteria causing the yeast infection. There are also several kinds of foods that you can eat, and some that you can avoid to prevent future infections. As a woman, you owe it to yourself to look into a way to rid yourself of these annoying yeast infections. If you've had one before, you will know if you have one or not. If this is your first, then get diagnosed by a medical professional and proceed from there. If you want to know how to treat your infection naturally and want to make sure that this is your last, then look into what you can do naturally. It will save you a lot of money and inconvenient suffering in the future. I'm sure glad I did.